Welcome to the Superbike Rescue Channel, dedicated to bringing old sport bikes out from under blue tarps, out from the back of the garages and away from the sketchy owners and back onto the road where they belong, where I show you the right way to bring your bikes back from the dead.
We're back in the garage. Tonight it's all about the gas tank. So we're going to take this gas tank apart, take a look inside, see what we got here, see how bad a condition this thing is in, and find out if we can even save it.
Alright, so right now we're going to work on getting this filler cap off this tank. It took me a minute to find the right socket. I'm sure everyone can relate to that. As my grandma always said, put your tools away when you're done. Your life will be much easier. This is really just a matter of taking off 4 bolts. Obviously there's 8 bolt heads here. Only 4 of those are actual bolts. The other 4 are just decorative heads. So the way you tell them apart is you can look inside the tank and see which ones actually go into the tank. Or on this one it's even simpler and just look for which ones have the writing. Those are the ones that are actual bolts. So once we get those 4 unscrewed, the filler cap comes right off the tank. Unless you've lost the key, at that point you have to drill it out, and that's not a fun experience. So lucky for me, I have the key. We're able to open it up and pull it right off, and we can get the camera down inside the tank and see what we're actually dealing with here.
So the next thing we're going to tackle with this tank is taking off the petcock. And obviously the biggest challenge with taking the petcock off is finding the 10mm socket. Once you've done that, which is nearly impossible, you can start on this operation. It really is just a matter of unbolting the 2 bolts from the petcock. Now, as you can see, there are 2 Phillips screws on this. Don't use those. They're specifically there for you to strip out. They don't actually allow you to get the petcock off. So use the wrench, take it off, and once we get it off, we can take a look at it and inspect it and see what we've actually got here. So what I want to try to accomplish here is to get this fuel vent cap off. I've never actually taken one of these off, which seems kind of odd because I've owned like 10 of these bikes. But this is the first one I've actually gone to this detail with. And since I'm going to be repainting the bike, I definitely want this off. What I'm using is a strap wrench. What's good about these is they put a fair amount of bite onto whatever you're trying to turn. They don't leave any marks in the paint. So as you can see, it's not wanting to grip as well as expected. So unfortunately, I wasn't successful with this. So I had to resort to some bigger tools. So we'll give that a shot and see how. So unfortunately, my strap wrench just didn't have enough grip to get this fuel vent off, so I had to resort to channel locks. I used a microfiber cloth to protect the surface of the vent, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough, and I ended up doing exactly what I was trying to prevent, which is putting a couple marks into the surface of this. They're dug in pretty deep, so I'm probably going to have to try to track down a used one of these, or look at sanding it down and having it re-anodized. So this is going to be the best view I can get of the inside of this tank, which is not very good. My concern is there's some kind of red sealant in there. I don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure it's a sealant, so I'm going to throw some cleaners in there that'll take the gas residue out, because it looks like there is some stagnant gas down in there, and I'm not sure what that sealant is. So this tank is definitely an if for me. My concern is this tank is undented. It's actually in pretty good shape, and you know, tanks are getting about impossible to find, so if it's feasible, I do want to save this tank. So that's about all there is to say about the fuel tank. We're gonna head upstairs and take a look at the petcock, see what we're dealing with there. That's all I got.
Oh good, it's finally over.